Hello, online world and family. Just wanted to come on really quickly and share something that I've been seeing as kind of a reoccurrent theme as I'm working with people throughout the last couple of weeks. And that is the issue of our inner critic, negative self-talk, that ugly voice that's in the side of our heads that consistently tells us who we are and who we're not, and what we can do and what we can't do, what we're prepared for, what our value and our worth is. It's consistently telling us all of the bad decisions that we may make and all of the possible failures to come. And as I'm talking with people, one of the things that I am consistently reminding folks of is that many times that inner critic, even though as maybe an adolescent, teen, young adult, or adult, it feels like it comes from within. If we take some time to reflect, we'll realize that maybe it doesn't. So here's a practice that I encourage coaching clients to do. Number one, when you hear those negative voices, take some time to write down what they're saying. Totally uncomfortable exercise when you start writing down in a journal, a notebook, a sheet of paper, what all of these mean, nasty voices are saying to you. And it's usually uncomfortable because we know in our hearts that we would never talk to someone else in that way. And so it becomes really evident of how nasty and ugly these voices tend to be. But I encourage you to take courage and write down what you're consistently hearing, specifically when it comes to things that concern your identity. Again, who you are, what you can do, what you can achieve, what your character, what your traits are or aren't. The second thing that I encourage folks to do is once you've written down all of these things, take some time in stillness, in quietness, in silence, to turn inward and do some deep reflection about where you first heard these things. Most of the time, they are not coming from us. If you reflect back, you may find, you're likely to find, that the first time you heard these things, the first time that you felt these things, were in places where someone else was either directly speaking those things to you or did something that made you feel that way, insinuated that these things were true. Maybe a caretaker, maybe a friend, maybe those mean kids from middle school, maybe an old boss. Whoever it is, realize that those voices actually initiated with someone else. And what often happens is we subconsciously take in those voices. And then, even though those folks may have moved on and they're no longer a part of our lives, we have internalized the voices and we begin to repeat those things to ourselves. The third thing that I encourage you to do is to write down all of the great things that you know about yourself, all the wonderful character traits that you have, all of the gifts and the talents and the abilities that you have. Write down all of the things that you've accomplished and the courage that you've taken and the strength that you have exuded over the years. All of the victories, write those things down. And then I encourage you to take a time, whether that's a week, 2 weeks, a month, and really consciously and intentionally tune your ear to the voices of the people around you that are speaking good things to you. It could be a coworker that says, you know what, I always come to you for this because I know you're just really smart in this area or you're really good in this area. It could be a friend that says, do you realize like every time people around you, you kind of like brighten their energy and you make them feel better? It could be a boss that tells you how great you are at a certain skill. It could be a family member who lets you know how you make them feel and how much they appreciate the things that you're doing for them. It could be a number of people. People are often around us, speaking life into our character and into our identity, reflecting back to us our own light and our own love and our own positive energy. And many times, because of the negative self-talk, we don't hear it. So again, that last step is that I encourage you to really take time to listen in, to tune your ear to all of the positivity that people are giving you and that people are showing you and reflecting back to you on a daily basis. Again, for a week, for a month, you decide, and then write those things down because you need to see and be reaffirmed, oftentimes, we all do, of the goodness and the greatness within us. So I encourage you, if you're struggling with self-talk, take these steps and see if they help you. Have a loving and blessed day.